Good evening, Lake Orion. Welcome to the show of Technical Wonders. Hopefully you're having a great evening, great week, and I'm your host, Ian Witherspoon. Okay, great. We're here, live on television right now, speaking to you.
Forgive us for the technical difficulties.
You know, if Pat wasn't nominated before for an Emmy, I think he's got one now, huh? All right. Thank you, Lord. So, guys, welcome to the show. Apologize to you viewers at home for the problems.
Yes.
How you doing? You all right?
Hanging in there. Tired.
You look nice. You?
Tired.
No comment. Just kidding. So, guys, we got a lot to talk about 27 minutes to talk about it now. Let's get started. Big Ten football. Well, Big Ten athletics.
Yeah.
Two new schools are in the Big Ten. What are those schools again? I can't remember.
Maryland and Rutgers. Yes, Maryland and Rutgers are. That's a great move for the Big Ten because
what
it does. Here's why: because it gives them a television market in the Washington D.C. area and the Baltimore area, and also in New York City. This is why I support Maryland and especially support Rutgers in the Big Ten, because I had a debate with Ian Locke about this, our operations producer, and he was against. And he was against this move. He said, why would you have Rutgers in the Big Ten? I said, what is there a point to have Rutgers in the Big Ten? Rutgers deserves to be in the Big Ten.
Sammy, why? What do they do to deserve to be in the Big Ten?
If you look at it, their football power is coming back. And of course,
football power?
Yeah, they're starting to become a football power in the Big East.
Tell them, get them.
Rutgers has no business in the Big Ten.
Why is that?
Maryland, you can live with at least for now.
The rivals to Penn State.
Rutgers in the Big Ten, you've got to be kidding me.
Thank you.
Why?
I mean, who in New York City watches college football?
Let me talk to you about this. I had a discussion with Kyle Wood, a friend of ours,
back to Kyle Wood,
about this topic about Maryland and Rutgers. He's against it. Why does the Big Ten need to expand? What reason is it? It's probably for money, but
it's for money.
No reason.
Well, Notre Dame
but they
went
do.
To the ACC. I mean,
they're not in the ACC.
Rutgers has no business in the Big Ten. Rutgers is not an elite school.
Guys, here's what it's about. It's about who's going to view the Big Ten network. And you're right, the New York market. But
didn't they get damaged by Hurricane Sandy?
Yeah, but they can still watch TV. Nobody in New York cares about Rutgers University football. I'll tell you that right now. And no one's going to care about, in New York, Wisconsin versus Nebraska or something like that.
Well, they care about
this is the problem. Okay, we're heading towards super conferences, correct?
Yes.
We're getting there, right?
Yep.
But what we're losing in that pursuit of super conferences is border battles. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Why can't you go out and get, an Oklahoma and an Oklahoma State? You can make sense of that. How do you make sense of Maryland traveling to Nebraska for a football game?
I think it'd be an interesting. Well, it helps in recruiting because if you look at what Maryland needs, it's money. They
need money.
7 sports. They cut 7 sports, and now they have to get those programs back now because I think now that this is all about money.
It's all about money, exactly. Mm-hmm. And
that's why Rutgers is in the Big Ten, because of money, and the Big Ten has one of the biggest revenues, probably the richest conference in the NCAA.
And also
I'd say the SEC.
Equal revenue share.
No.
Equal revenue sharing. It's the equal revenue sharing, because if you look at it here, the Big 12 doesn't have equal revenue sharing. The ACC doesn't have equal revenue sharing. The Big East, we know, doesn't have equal revenue sharing. It's all it is the Big Ten has an equal revenue sharing. I know the SEC does as well, and the Pac-12. Not sure about the Pac-12, but they get their fair share of money.
I understand all that, but still, what geographical sense or rivalry sense or any sense?
It makes
aside from
absolutely
money
no sense
doesn't
at
make-
all geographically because you
Maryland
look
with
at how
Penn State.
geographically, you're having like West Virginia, you're having, aren't they going to the Big 12?
West
Yeah, West
Virginia,
Virginia's
right?
already
Yeah.
in the Big 12.
Yeah,
Where's
that-
Boise State going?
That makes no geographic
Big
sense.
East.
Yeah, it makes no geographic.
Boise State's going
But
to Big
here's
East.
my
Yeah,
thing here
that
with
makes no
Maryland.
sense.
Here's my thing with Maryland. Penn State is in Pennsylvania. Maryland
Yeah.
is to its southeast.
Right.
So why, that's the natural rivalry right there.
So schedule them
New
in
Jersey, I have no
non-conference.
idea why.
Schedule Maryland in a non-conference game against Penn State.
No, I think you play them
It's
in the
already
regular
weak.
season.
Non-conference is already a terrible
Penn
schedule
State
anyways.
has beaten Maryland. Maryland has not beaten Penn State. They only beat them once.
I think it's the start of a
All right.
brand new rivalry.
Put yourself in the shoes of a Nebraska season ticket holder. Okay?
Why would I
How
want to go
thrilled
see Maryland?
how
or
thrilled are
Rutgers?
you to see Rutgers come in and play Nebraska?
Not thrilled at all.
Not thrilled at all. Yet you still have to pay a ton of money for that,
Yeah.
correct?
Right.
All right.
Why would I
Well,
want to see them play?
how thrilled would you be to see Oklahoma, one of your biggest rivals?
Oh, real thrilled because
Real
it'd be
thrilled.
Good idea.
Exactly. How thrilled would you be if you were a Michigan season ticket holder, Michigan State season ticket holder, to see Oklahoma?
Oh, I'd be real
Be
thrilled.
awesome.
Be awesome.
Be awesome. You gonna go up to East Lansing to watch Rutgers?
Yeah, it's a rivalry.
That's
It's a
not
rivalry.
That's
though.
not a rivalry.
It is a rivalry.
That's
Yes,
not
it is.
a rivalry.
It is a rivalry.
Finally, me and this guy are on the same page.
It used to be a rivalry.
It's not a rivalry. It's not a rivalry.
It used to be.
All right, so 14 teams now. They stopping or are they moving on?
Stop it.
They're stopping.
Stop it.
They're not going to 16.
No.
I've heard rumors from Ian Locke about Georgia Tech and Virginia,
In
but
North
I don't want
Carolina is
that
a
to
rumor.
happen.
Georgia Tech would be another. Why don't they go to the SEC? You know what I mean?
The ACC's got a very strong bylaw. They got to pay.
SEC.
Oh, the SEC. I mean, the ACC's got a $50 million exit fee that the teams got to
Right,
pay. So
right.
that's not an easy thing to leave the ACC.
Yeah,
Maryland's got to pay it.
sure. Well, either way, college football is starting to. Well, this impacts college football a lot.
Especially college basketball.
College basketball as well. You want to think about adding a team like Missouri or Kansas or something like that. That would be. Could you imagine Michigan State versus Kansas every year? Every single year?
That would be very good.
Multiple times
Not
a year,
in football,
possibly?
though. Not in football.
No, not in football. But any final words, Anthony? You look dark and somber over there. You look like you got something on your mind. Let it out.
This is truly a dark day for the Big Ten.
This is a great day for the Big Ten.
I agree. It's a dark day. I'm gonna borrow that hat for next segment
Why?
because I need to be dark and disturbed too.
No.
Okay. We come back. We're going to talk a little Lake Orion football and their untimely exit from the playoffs. Stay tuned.
Hey, this is Mickey York from Fox Sports Detroit. When I want to get the inside scoop on local sports, I watch Between Taorminas or Fox Sports Detroit.
Please remember that CFL bulbs, those curly, energy-efficient light bulbs everybody is using to save electricity, shouldn't be thrown away in your trash. Neither should batteries or home medical sharps. You can check with your local community to see where they can be recycled. Some retailers will allow you to bring them in for recycling. You can also order simple kits online that allow you to collect your recyclables and simply mail them away to be properly recycled. This green tip was brought to you by your friends at Waste Management.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas, where things are working properly as usual. Cut to two. All right, hey, we're going to talk Lake Orion football. There it is. And
It's over.
it's over.
Yeah.
It was a darn good run, though, huh?
It was a very good run for this team. I think if you look at the recap of the game here, I think there was one call I thought that beat Lake Orion. You know what I mean? It was that missed PAT. I questioned why the referees in this game, why didn't Lake Orion, why they could have said something to the ref and said, well, okay, let's take the penalty, but take it on the kickoff. the PAT would have been good. We have been talking a whole new ballgame. Maybe we've been talking.
You got to give credit to the Dragons. They didn't give up in this game. They were down 21-7 to Cass Tech.
Right.
They were down and they had a choice. They either were going to fight back in this game or they were going to give up, and they did the former. They came back. They tied the game 21-21, and then Cass Tech scored a touchdown. I mean, you got to give the credit to the Dragons. They played their butts off until the very end, and they were there until the very end. They have nothing to be ashamed about. This was a great season. There is nothing to be ashamed about.
Well, yeah, but if you take away that PAT, you know what I mean? I thought Detroit Cass Tech, I don't think they're that strong, but I think they just got away with some pretty bogus calls, you know what I mean? I think there were 2 bogus calls in that game.
Coach Bell said in the interview that they made more plays than the Dragons did.
How about their quarterback?
They made a lot of passing plays. There's no doubt about that.
You know what I mean? I'm not being mean here, but you know, if there's got to be a rule change here in this, that I think that Lake Orion has got to, you know, there's got to be a rule change here. That Lake Orion's got to really, you know, and I think Game Machine's got to look at this too. Is that you know, you got to give Lake Orion the option to take the penalty, especially on an extra point try on the kickoff. You can do it in the NFL. Why don't you do it in high school football?
Right.
You know, when you look back at the season, you look back at, you know, there was a lot of questions to be asked about Derek DeLora this year, the quarterback. He had a really good season this year. You know, Jacob Miller, he farther became a star. You know, Zach Arnold, Corey Esther, those guys made names of themselves, you know.
Those 2 went to what school?
They were Dragons.
Where'd they go to middle school?
To Oakview.
Thanks. Okay, just wanted to hear
but
that.
anyways, the point is that, you know, they further strengthened their careers, and a lot of other guys made names for themselves as well this year. And I mean, the thing is that a lot of people question the size of the front lines on offense and defense because the stigma of them being small, and that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case at all. I mean, they played their butts off this whole season.
And you mentioned a few of those names in there. Young guys that will be back and will be hungry. How do you think that feeds into next year?
I think if you look at the only question, of course, you got is going to be a quarterback. You got Lake Orion's going to be a very good team. I still think but you also got Clarkson, you also got Stony Creek.
It stinks watching those Cass Tech.
I mean, like, you got to look at what happens here is that Lake Orion's got, I think they're going to be a good team next year again. But also, you know, because you got Esther, you got the emergence. Watch out next year for Matt Krause. He's going to be a very good player, and as well as Zach Serzel.
You look at this, the schedule. Obviously, it flip flops next year. Got to go to Oxford. Got to go Stony Creek. Got to go to Clarkston.
Right.
Host a crossover. So I mean, it's not an easy schedule, but I mean, you know, you got to give credit to you know, this year's team in particular. They kind of set a new standard there. And you look back at 2012, this team's going to be remembered for a lot of great things. They went through the storm of Macomb County. They responded very well after the Clarkson loss with a nice win at Farmington. You know, they got a pretty good win over Oxford, who was going to be a pretty good team.
Oxford went
to the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a good win for them, that game.
And you look back, this team, you look back and you remember this team. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they lost to Cass Tech. But, I mean, you know, you wonder about Cass Tech at the same time about the private schools, and that's a debate for another day. But the thing is that Lake Orion has nothing to be ashamed about. They had a great run, great season, nothing to be ashamed about at all.
You got to look at here. You're right on a couple things, you know what I mean? They did. You know, especially going through Macomb County, especially having to bring Macomb, Dakota to Lake Orion. That was a good thing. And then, of course, you know, Derek
Eisenhower.
And then, of course, Derek DeLora is rushing bootleg touchdown to beat Utica Eisenhower. I mean, like, you know, this team's had, you know, nobody gave them a chance in a couple games. You know what I mean? But this team deserved to be where they were at. You know, this is a good enough team where they deserve to be where they're at. And I think next year they're going to be ranked one of the highest teams in the state.
Still question the OA schedule, but I mean, at the same time, this team ended up being a very good team.
All right, guys. State championship, Division 1. What do you think?
I like CC.
Yeah? What do you got, Ant?
I cannot stomach. I at least respect CC.
Yeah.
But I cannot stomach Cass Tech. I cannot stand that both that we're seeing this final again.
2 years in a row?
That they're two private schools. It
Yeah.
makes me sick. But I probably will have to say CC because I have a little bit of respect for CC. And also a friend of mine went to CC.
Ah, a little bias. Yeah. All right. Well, that's a cap on the year this year. Anything you want to touch on moving forward next year? Anything that...
They'll be fine next year, even though the
One thing
schedule's
you're
gonna be
most
tough.
looking forward to, though, a certain player, a matchup?
Like I said,
early
it's going to be
prediction.
up in Oxford, of course, in the blue turf to start the year. Oxford's very experienced. We'll just see what happens next year. You know what I mean? The question's going to be on defense and who's going to be the quarterback next year.
And what do
This
you
team
think?
has got a chance to be special again, just like they were this year.
It wouldn't surprise me if Orion and Detroit Cass Tech rematch this again. It wouldn't surprise me in the very
Gotta
near
get by
future.
Clarkson,
Gotta get by
gotta back
Clarkson,
Dakota
gotta
and
get by Dakota and
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower.
A lot could be turning into a nice little rival, huh?
It is a rivalry.
We'll see.
And as they say in Lake Orion, we don't rebuild, we reload. We reload. And we're going to reload on Between Taorminas after this next segment. Stay tuned.
Yep. Huh.
So how's Welcome back to the Pat Ronan blooper reel here on ONTV.
Yeah,
Yep.
literally.
Just kidding. Love you, Pat. All right, so hey, guys. You wouldn't wear the Grim Reaper outfit today, but
They're done. The Lions are done. I mean, like, basically, Randall Cobb touchdown from Aaron Rodgers. That's your season, folks. They're going to get killed on Thanksgiving by Houston Texans. And then the Indianapolis Colts are going to come in and beat the Lions. I mean, the Lions are done. They're hopeless.
as if I didn't think they were done when they lost in Minnesota. They
done.
can't hold. The Packers served them that game on a platter, nice and warm. All they had to do was stick their fork in and chew.
They're done.
They didn't take the game.
They're done.
That was terrible.
They're done.
Matt Stafford's one of his worst games of his career.
Why did they win it? Why did they win against Houston?
If they win
Done.
against Houston, then that
No,
will just
they will
end a
not win
long,
against Houston.
long streak of not winning
will
on
not win
Thanksgiving
against
Day.
Houston.
Hey, they can at least end a Thanksgiving losing streak.
That losing streak is continuing.
No.
Yes.
No. So you think they could win?
They could win.
You think they might win?
I said they could.
Do you think they will?
I like to see it happen, yes.
No chance. No chance.
No chance.
Are you going on the Chicago Bears bandwagon?
Nope.
They looked good last night, didn't they?
Nope. I'm not even going on their bandwagon. I'm going on the San Francisco 49ers bandwagon because they're carrying my fantasy team right now.
Who do you got on your team?
Frank Gore and Vernon Davis.
Same here. Thank you, boys. Even though I hate the 49ers. What about Kaepernick, huh?
Yeah. I was
New
surprised.
starter?
No. Alex Smith's still going to start.
You think so?
Yes.
I like Kaepernick. He looked good. Any other things you want to say about the Lions? Or
They're done.
they're just
Shout
done?
out to welcome Torrey Hunter to the Detroit Tigers.
Number 48. Rick Porcel's now 21.
Yep.
That's
At
exciting,
least
huh?
you're giving it right donational cost to Superstorm Sandy.
Sure. Beautiful day, huh?
Yes, it is.
All right.
At least it's the only happiness in Detroit right now.
Well, I hear somebody's about to do some call-outs. That makes everybody happy, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Antonio,
I'll start first.
go for it.
You know, my first call out's going to be somebody that I feel like I called him Hunter on Sunday. I'm going to call out Ian
Excuse me?
Weatherspoon. Ian Weatherspoon, what?
What?
Huh?
What?
You look like a hunter. You act like a hunter. You quack like a hunter, so you must be a hunter. Ian Weatherspoon, look at that face of yours. Look at it, man.
What did I do to deserve this?
Look at you, man. That face says it all. You must be a hunter. Ian, you're a hunter. That's why I called you Hunter.
Call me out for being a hunter?
Yeah. My second call out.
Okay then, Hunter.
I'm more confused than I am mad.
Okay then, Hunter.
My second call out's going to involve a team that I feel like, obviously, I feel like that during the Lake Orion Detroit Cass Tech game, I saw some things I didn't like. So I'm going to call out Detroit Cass Tech. Cass Tech, first things first, look at yourselves in the mirror. When a player gets injured, you don't throw a temper tantrum. You don't throw your hat off in frustration. And also to the assistant coach of Cass Tech. You don't point your finger at a group of kids for playing hard. You did this not once, but twice. Look, I know you're upset because your players got hurt, but at the same time, it's football. You guys got to understand that. I guess not. I don't know what you teach them there at Detroit. I know that you privately recruit them, and that they have to be admitted into that I could say private university or magnet school as it's called. Detroit Cass Tech. Be spoiled. Have fun on your little championship walk and parade. I mean, but really look at yourselves in the mirror. And right now you might not see it because you're winning all these games, but, eventually your time will come.
I think their
All right.
time will come. I have them losing the CC, and I have them meeting. Could possibly, if the team is set south, like Macomb County, probably some one of those teams like Ike, Dakota, they don't survive up north. They will not survive up north. I'll guarantee you that. Okay, now on to my.
Excuse me. May I?
What?
I have a call out.
You have a call.
Yeah, you might want to scoot back. Thanks. All right. Well, I'm going to call somebody out who has never been called out except for by himself on this show. And that certain person I will call Traitor. Oh, look at that traitor stare.
He's gonna kill you.
Anthony Traitor Taormina. Why? Simple. You're a traitor. You're scared. You're just you don't know where your loyalties lie. And one day you need to learn. I'm gonna get you a tissue for your tears too, because I know you're crying. Easy boy. Easy.
I'm gonna kill you.
Hey, is that a threat? It's it's a promise. Well, you've asked for it. You've got it. You're called out, and it's about darn time, because I'm tired of your trading antics. I'd like you to realize where you're from, realize who is in charge around here, me.
Oh, I realize.
Hey, this is my call out. I'll give you your time.
Yeah.
Shut up. All right, listen, and I just can't wait to get in the shot putting ring with you and you, but you're not a part of this right now, because you're done. Walden, you're a traitor. You went to Scripps. Learn where you're from. I'm done.
Hello, you went to Oakview.
It's an expansion league. I'm allowed to.
No,
yeah,
that's
right.
not an excuse.
All right. I'm
don't
gonna
worry.
kill you in a minute.
Okay, now first let's get to my call-outs here. The first one I'm gonna call out, of course, I looked at a couple of YouTube clippings, and I looked at the Birmingham Seaholm Birmingham Groves game, and of course, I'm gonna call out Seaholm's coach Jose Andres. Why? Let's look at it this way. You had 8 seconds left. You were down by 2. Your best player has the ball, and he shoots up a half-court buzzer beater to win in the district semifinals. But wait, you call timeout! Why? Why? You said this you just ruined your team's chance to get to the district final. You know, I can't believe you do that. You did that to your school. You did that to your team. What do you have to say for yourself? I don't know what to say either. And I'm not from Birmingham. I'm speechless. Speechless. Unbelievable. I feel bad for those seniors over at Seaholm. I feel real bad.
And then
Because you called a timeout. And that took them away their season and their buzzer beater shot. And their chance to go to the district final. Maybe and beyond. The last call I'm going to call out, of course, is Tom Gorse. Tom Gorse. Why? Ah!
do it.
Dang. Yeah, there goes that there. Okay, Tom Gorse, you got to look at it this way here. You know, Tom, nobody likes to hear player music when your team has the ball. Tom Gorse, I don't have much time to say. I'll say it next week.
Oh, wow, a little cliffhanger, huh?
Yep.
I think I know where you're going, and it's interesting, and I dig it. All right, so we're done here, and I feel like I got a little fight to attend to. Thank you for watching Between Taorminas. I may not be back next week.
Bye.
Take care. God bless. Good night.